So I think you can also sort of follow things on the screen. But
can we change the slide to future-proofing schools?
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay, great. So the idea, what we sort of the crux of the whole matter was that there's a lot of talk, very little walk. So from the activism, we need to start to actionism. That's one of the first key takeaways that we had. That small, local, contextual changes that we need to do will, you can't take very, very large, all-encompassing kind of changes. What works in Delhi may not work in Arunachal. What works in Arunachal may not work in Kerala. Just because two places are very rainy doesn't mean the same thing. There are local problems and solutions also which are there. So that needs to be taken into consideration. Second is that education is not the priority when there is a crisis. And the schools are taken away and used as, rescue centers, etc., etc. So then education needs to be the priority, and then you have to innovate. If the children can't go to the education centers, then the education has to come to the children in whatever form, hybrid, online, offline formats. Third thing is that there has to be grassroots levels. The community has to come together and come up with innovative solutions for grassroots level change that is there. And that has to be a continuous change, not wait for the sort of disaster to strike and then work on it. And lastly, there is a lot of intersectionality. When climate change strikes, things like early pregnancies, early marriages, working, the community, children going into work and labor, crime increasing, a lot of anxiety and a lot of attacks, substance abuse, these kinds of things happen. So, it's not just a matter of taking one thing, whether it's the government or the community. There's a lot of intersectionality. There are disabled groups who are affected differently. There are transgender or, blind people or illiterate people who get affected differently. The poorer get affected differently. So intersectionality and marginalization needs to be thought about. So I'll leave 3 more seconds and I'll finish. Thank you.
Thank you, Anand.
Just one last point. What I want to say is that I think local innovation was what everybody talked about, and that was like the key that one took away from that. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Anand. Next, I'd like to call upon Aparna from AI and Work.
So in the AI and Work panel, one of the key takeaways that we said that we observed was that AI is going to happen. There's no way to avoid it. But so it's up to us, people in spaces like CSRs, like NGOs, CSOs, but also in academia and other such spaces to engage with AI in a way that is that kind of questions or disrupts the biases that already exist in a way to overcome them. Again, one of the anxiety was that there is biases when it comes to data because AI is heavily relying upon data. But data, the way it's collected, the way it is disseminated, is extremely biased, especially against people from marginalized genders and social groups. So how can we, to make AI a more equitable space, what can be done with data in terms of correcting these biases? One of the hope-giving factor was that we recognize the fact that AI is primarily, there is an element of democratization of knowledge, democratization of information that AI has made possible. Collectivization is, there is a possibility for collectivization through AI. We had an entire discussion on how predictive analytics can be used for better healthcare and other such. The question of inaccess can be addressed through AI. And lastly, one question that we need to go deeper into is what are the future skills that are required and how do we get more young people to participate? Thank you.
Thank you, Aparna. Right on time as well. Next, I'd like to call upon Erica from AI and Learning. A round of applause.
Yeah, so,
You had to go a little away so that
Okay.
you're in the lights.
yeah. Okay, so we were expecting that there would be very few people because it was a session post lunch, but we really had to arrange for more chairs in the room, and people stayed on till the end. So hopefully we did a good job in addressing this topic around AI in learning. So one of the key takeaways from the audience was that while AI opens up a lot of, brings in a lot of simplification and expands access to critical services and learning. So that's the power that AI had. And we spoke about, Agami talking about how AI is used in law and justice space, and Project Tech for Dev or Glyphic spoke about how AI is being used in education through a WhatsApp-based chatbot. So they could see a lot of access to information right at the fingertips. So that was one of the key things. One anxiety that the audience had was on, is it going to the de-evaluation of human creativity and skill? Are we just becoming like so much dependent on this AI that it's going to answer every question? Are we losing our creativity? That was an anxiety that was voiced in the audience. Third, a hope-giving factor for the future. So as I mentioned, the use cases that we spoke about, how AI was being used in law and justice space, easing out the work of the lawyers, and also how Tap Buddy was the WhatsApp-based chatbot that is being used by Tap to educate children. So seeing such kind of applications of AI really was like one of the hopes that the room had, and that they could do similar kind of applications for themselves. And one question to go deeper into is, so we also had Scratch in the room, Scratch Foundation, who were basically, while we were talking a lot about AI and how we were leveraging AI in reaching out to our communities and easing the work, they brought about a perspective about, take it with a pinch of salt. There has to be, like they spoke about, the data privacy around, collecting so much of data of your end users and then applying AI. So the Scratch's perspective on how we use AI to expand learner agency and not restrict it. So while we were saying that we were giving, AI is enabling, giving the agency to the end user, but they brought a perspective that are we actually giving that agency to the learners, or are we just defining paths for them? So this is a question that we need to go deeper into. Yeah, so this is what we all discussed. Thank you.
Thank you, Erica. And last but not the least, I'd like to invite Deepa to talk about the Futures Literacy track.
Hi everyone, good evening. I'm an HR professional and jargons are our sermons. So we got introduced to another jargon today, I thought, when I heard the term future literacy and backcasting. But when we discussed a lot deeper into it, let me stay here to have a look at the time. So we talked about how to enable schools and curriculum to help students think into future, getting them closer to reality, even though students do not have a direct understanding or an experience of what actually marginal people go through. So we talked about how to bring students closer to reality and to bring in an education system which is customized or more closer to the local communities that they are a part of. And again, using indigenous knowledge and helping students to go ahead with a learner-centric approach where they get a lot of experiential learning, and even the education system is accommodating flexible timings, syllabus, and methodology while they educate the students. We also went into how tech can complement human side of it. As for example, how can we make e-learning platforms accessible to students across different communities? And we also talked about how to upskill the localites to use their traditional knowledge to create an economy where they can survive as well as thrive. And finally, we also posed this question to the facilitators to tell us or give us resources wherein we can go deeply into what future literacy is. So that would be one question that we posed. So what exactly is future literacy? What is a template that we could use so that it doesn't have a lot of gray areas with other terms that we are very familiar of, creative thinking, critical thinking, all of it. So that will be the future question that we posed. And thanks a lot.
Thank you, Deepa. All right, so you heard all of them. I think, again, straddling between hope and anxieties and kind of holding multiple aspects of the different topics that we spoke about. I think like what stood out for me was that while there is a lot of anxiety, we spoke a lot about imagination during the day, and then one of the anxieties is that with all of this, would it actually curtail our ability to imagine? And then how do we kind of preserve that ability? And this idea of local innovations, which are sort of more context-specific. And I think, again, going back to the idea of agency as well, and how do we give that back to the learners. Obviously, lots of questions still, which we need to go deeper into. Futures literacy is something that we're also just about starting to sort of unravel. So there are a lot more conversations that are needed around the topic as well. So we hope that we will continue some of these conversations. We're just about coming to the end of day 1, and we'll continue some of these conversations tomorrow as well. But before we move on, maybe a quick round of reflections. So we'll go back to the poll that we had done in the morning. And if you could again sort of go back to your Mentimeters and answer this question now, after everything that you've heard through the day, about the future, the anxieties, the hopes, the utopias, dystopias, the questions, the idea of culture changing the stories we tell ourselves, backcasting, forecasting, foresight, lots of terms. Where are you right now with your own sort of imagination of the future? And again, one word. Okay, it's interesting. In the morning, the first word that popped up was scary, and now it's hopeful. So something has shifted during the day. Exciting, but unequal still. Cautious optimism. Stay with discomfort, ridiculous. Amrit Kal. Intentional. The future is still being explored. Democratized. Love. It's uncertain, but maybe we're a little bit more comfortable with the idea of uncertainty now. The future is not so far. Boldness. Nice. Okay. We'll try and kind of bring the two images together and just see what it's looking like. Kind of similar. The future is similar. Gloomy. There's still a little bit of gloominess and bleakness that is there. The hopeful is stronger. Any thoughts on this as you're seeing this? Scary has shifted to exciting. Unpredictable has become uncertain. Bleak has become positive. But there is bleak that side as well. We take everything along with us into the future. All right. So you can stay with this, and I'm sure there's a lot more processing that is happening within all of you as well. I'd like you all to kind of take a moment to go through the conversations that have happened since the morning. And there were a lot of conversations that we had. We spoke about a lot of different scenarios as well. And for a moment, kind of don't think about what this means for young learners or educators whom we are working with, but just sort of situate it for yourself. What does this idea of futures literacy, futures thinking mean for how you want to lead your life and your work as an individual? Before you take it out to anyone else, what are you going to do with this concept? And what does this mean for you? So take a moment to think about it, and then we'd love to hear some responses. And if you want some brain churning, you can still turn to a partner and discuss it. And if you're ready with your reflections, just show me a thumbs up. You're right. I'll not come to you first because you've gotten too many chances in the audience. We'll hear some new voices first. Ready? All right, let's hear some responses. Do we have mics in the audience? Yeah? Okay. Great. Maybe we want to start with that corner. It's been very quiet through the day. No? No reflections? Wow. Is this too much to process? Okay. Shripati. There, the mic's behind you. No, you'll have to switch it on.
Yeah, I think I'll tell myself the story a little more positively. I think after talking to many organizations and some of the sort of true champions, I think it's not to keep it very technical, I think just to be going forward, especially in life, because I've been quite pessimistic with things happening around, and I was one of the ones, I think I put a lot of negative, the words also, but I think it's just sort of telling myself the story in a more positive way and keeping the narrative positive, I think really helps. And I think that's the sort of change I might probably bring it after the event today. So it was really great that climate change and education were really so closely looked at today with the context of futures and alternative futures. So just to, I think, one just point, I think one of the speakers mentioned Jim Dater, who was, I think, kept coming. So he taught us when we were doing our masters. He was our professor. And I think really great to see, there is an alternative future and we are all talking about it. And hopefully we are going towards it. So thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
Great. To change the story that we're telling ourselves.
Yes, I think, yeah.
Awesome. Anyone else?
I think, as it has always been, expect the unexpected. Hence, why worry? Keep experimenting.
Okay.
For life, profession, everywhere. Yeah. Thank you.
So again, being comfortable with uncertainty and
Yes, for sure.
how do we adapt to what is to come anyways.
So I would like to share that I think it has given a lot of food for thought for my own life and for my own work, because I never asked myself, what would I be doing in 2045? I think the first panel that we had today made me realize that I should also have this conversation with other people, because their reality is very different and what they see in the future is also different. So for me to understand the collective future, it's not just enough for me to think about it, but to also ask the same question to others and have a discussion with them about it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So engaging with different perspectives and maybe getting a little bit more intentional about the future. A couple of last comments.
I have been very skeptic about this whole futures thinking, but through the day, I think it is, it does seem to be an enabling knowledge aspect, and we work with extremely marginalized communities, and even though there is a resistance, like why should it start from them, I realize that it's extremely contingent for them, because they stand to lose a lot, hence it's important that they start thinking about it. The only thing I have is it should not remain a buzzword or just a tech concept, and it has to really take into account the futures of all people. Then it might be like a really useful thing. Thank you.
Right. Thank you for bringing that perspective.
Okay.
One
Hi.
last comment.
Can I go? Okay.
Yeah.
Here, Neha.
Sorry. Okay.
Yes, hi. I think for me, for both myself, my personal life as well as for work, I think future thinking for me would be unlearning what I know currently. And by unlearning, I don't mean that I discard every past information, but also processing that and thinking from the lens of diversity, inclusion, intersectionality. And also for me, I think I've never thought of tech or AI, or I've not attended anything which has given me so much information as today. So I think that, and bringing that into my personal life and then my work, I think that will take me a lot of unlearning. And I'm hopeful that I'll be able to do that. Yeah, so thank you for the space.
Great. Thank you for sharing. Okay, one last comment.
ओके मेरा नाम सविता है, मैं पायना ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से, हमारा जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है सेक्सुअलिटी माइनॉरिटी का ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है. मुझे ये पर्सनली मेरी जो लाइफ को टच किया, क्योंकि जो इधर ज़्यादा मैंने देखा है, जो स्टूडेंट बच्चों के लिए ज़्यादा मैंने जो फर्स्ट टाइम मैंने जो रिसोर्स के बारे में, नेचुरल रिसोर्स के बारे में वो क्या हमारी ऊपर डैमेज कर रहे हैं, और उसके बाद में सेकंड क्लास जो मैंने मीट की ने मैंने अटेंड की, उधर जब भी बच्चों को पढ़ाई के बारे में जो बच्चे जो जितना शार्प है, जो शार्प नहीं है, जो बिहेवियर में जो थोड़ा पूर है, उन लोगों को आगे ऑब्जर्वेशन करके उनको क्या सपोर्ट मिल सकते हैं, मैंने ये ऑब्जर्व की, क्योंकि ये मेरी पर्सनल लाइफ के लिए और जो हमारा जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए मैं लिंक करती हूँ. उसके बाद में जो मार्जिनलाइज कम्युनिटी को मेन स्ट्रीम में लाने के लिए बहुत सारे सेक्शन में इंक्लूड किया है. मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा.
Thank you. So one of the ideas which we also spoke about in one of our earlier Quest2Learns was from mainstream to many streams. And maybe futures literacy is also about creating many streams so that multiple futures can exist for all. On that note, we'll sort of move ahead. And I hope you kind of keep processing. There's a lot to process, so keep churning. And tomorrow is going to be another day where we are going to talk about building hopeful futures and taking actions and what kind of actions can we take. There's a feedback form. There's a QR code for the feedback form on your name card. So do take the time to scan that and fill the feedback form for today as well. And now, moving forward, we have a music performance planned for you. And again, I think to go back to the morning when Shakil was talking about culture and what kind of creates narratives. So we thought that stories are a way through which narratives is created. Music is a way through which narrative is created. Artists play a very important role in creating these narratives. And what kind of stories are we listening to? So we thought that we'll bring you stories all the way from Shillong. So please give it up for Somersault. And I hope they're here. Where are they? Oh, okay. The light had to be switched off for the entry. Great. So over to all of you. And if you want to do a brief introduction of where you've come from and what you bring today, please go ahead. And you all have glow sticks in your hand to show your support for the stories and music. So please make good use of them.
Good evening, everyone. That's not the sound. I know it's like, you've had like very intense sessions the whole day. But I'd like to hear the people from Bangalore who says, I think you can do better than that. Good evening, everyone. That sounds like it. Okay. We are Somersault, and my name is Kid, as K-I-T, with a T, not with a D. And we've got, very, very wonderful musicians, and it's an honor for me. And this is not about, me alone, but it's about all of us. And the song that we're going to start is called Hai Taisur, in that voice, We start with 3 segments to the whole performance outline. And so the first 3-4 songs will be talking about challenges and anxiety and despair. And yes, and the second segment would be more of hope. And yes, the third segment would be more into how do we look into the future, innovation, solutions, and stuff like that. Okay, so we want this to be more of a storytelling exercise, but yet foot tapping. And later on, if some of you want to come to the front, I know we don't have much space, we will do that. Okay, are we ready? as a consequence of growing old too. Okay, but first of all, we'd also like to thank Quest2Learn. Give them a big hand, and Quest2Learn and their partners and collaborators. I think they've done a wonderful job. I'd personally like to thank Siddharth and Neha and the rest of the team, who made this possible. But not forgetting our friend from Shillong, Stephen. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Where are you? Can you stand or raise your hand or wherever you are? Okay. No. Probably he's. Oh yeah. How did I miss that?
Penherman sim kado Sensyar kirang kensai Rai pertai kersak kumcu Tam katren Kading jing kurmen kalajan lit Ngin jit ya kajing yap hane Ngin jit ya kajing im Ladai kapor yang ibangan Kongo yumen barim Pai pa Ngin tur Ngin ya kunda kajing tit Hey Ha itai sorngin ya katma percaya kijing pangki badan syong nanda ngisau bangin jopet namar kaong gaktin ngidan nunung nyalam bubakular pangsisin ha ita isura arbor Yan namay iyaki habayang ikisyak syukor Katay katong Barongi Day kajing gala Kajing bishni kajing sadin Chatay ngin red syariat Kajing bishni jing kalobid Hakjat pengen nampat Nyatay Ngin tur Ngin yakun ngin namay li Hey Hai tay sorngin Benghreya katma percaya kijing pangki badan nasyong nanda ngisau bangin dapat namar kaong gaktin ngidan nunong yalam ubagular tang sisin ha ita isura. Can you put our hands together for this? Let's go. To Greg on guitar. Siya kijing pangki badan nasyong nanda Misko bangin jopet namar kaong baktin Ngidan nunang yalam ubagular tang sisin ha ita isura. We're having so much fun here. Feel the vibe.
That's nice. Okay, now I'm going to invite, the female member of the band. Her name is Suk. So she's going to sing for us a song in English. It's called Find Rest. I'm sure if I ask you a question, how many of us are mothers here? Mothers? Okay, young mothers? Young mothers? I can see one, two. Anyways, we would like to dedicate this song to the mothers and, the challenges and anxiety of mothers. And of course, we live in a country where that challenge with female, problems that we have in the country. So I know it's not easy to be a mother because that's what I've learned at least. So I'd like Suk to take if she wants to say a word or two.
I think you've spoken enough.
You know why? Because, by the way, Suk is the mother of my children. And she's my wife, therefore.
My.
So once a while when the kitchen, conversations and debate and, we take that on stage as well. So we do fight a lot.
All right, mothers, this is for you.
It's the time of the day when you want to sleep but you cannot. Juggle between home and work and spending time with my tiny tots. I'm a hard-working person. Some people think I'm smart. I've learned to take in all the praises. I'm also learning not to feel bad. I've come to a realization. Then I think of 100 thoughts while I ran from pillar to post in search of an answer. The answer is there next to me, but I did not see. Find rest my soul in the arms of a true friend. Looks like I can go on now. Looks like I can do it somehow. When you did what you could, you get some satisfaction. On the other hand, you know you need a personal revolution. I need to look at the mirror before I start something new. I need to look at the others and get to know what's their point of view. And when I serve them, I serve him. Then I think of 100 thoughts while I ran from pillar to post in search of an answer. The answer is there next to me, but I did not see. Find rest my soul in the arms of a true friend. Looks like I can go on now. Looks like I can do it somehow.
Please give it up for our door on keys.
the day when you wanna sleep but you cannot. Juggle between home and work and spending time with my tiny tots. I'm a hard-working person. Some people think I'm smart. I've learned to take in all the praises. I'm also learning not to feel bad.
Thank you. Well, this next one is called Captivate Me, you know. I think whether it is Bangalore, Chennai, or Shillong for that matter, we long for those days, 30, 40 years ago when the air was cleaner and there was less concrete. So this is the predicament that we have in our cities today. In Shillong used to be a pine city, but it's just concrete everywhere now, and we have one of the worst traffic problems in the country, but very similar to Bangalore. Of course, it's not as big as the city. So this song really talks about, the hope of going back to those days, and then with solutions, with it's easier to live. Of course, it says captivate me for the last time. So this one is called Captivate Me.
Cherry blossoms hope around, waterfalls and all that sound, running wild and running free, butterflies and honeybees. Saw a crowd agitating, moving to the cocky line over there. Then I saw a post from a guy on Facebook. People don't and some people care. What's become of my town? People hit not knowing why. Right from wrong, wrong from right. God help us as we try. Enough of those development jargons, we should be looking for some honesty. Enough of those pseudo-envios, we need to get away from such company. With cherry blossoms hope around, waterfall and all that sound, running wild and running free, butterflies and honeybees. Captivate me, oh city of my pine trees, just one last time. Let me believe in you, oh captivate me. Oh city of my pine trees, just one last time. Let me believe in you. You've been robbing, raping, gambled, more than twice. You've been loving, spied, redeemed, yes, forgiven more than thrice. It's time for you to get up now, to wipe the sweat off your brow. Let's show the world what we've got and tell our neighbors what we know. Captivate me, oh city of my pine trees, just one last time. Let me believe in you, oh captivate me. Oh city of my pine trees, just one last time. Let me believe in you. us. Never mind of all those people who spit on you. You'll be fine, your resilience has said it, done it, settled it, yeah, captivate me. Oh, city of my pine trees, just one last time. Let me believe in you, oh, captivate me. Oh, city of my pine trees, just one last time. Let me believe in you. Whoa, 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 whoa. Thank you. Okay, this last song of the first segment is called Kullut Kabama. Basically, it's a political satire. You know, we are obviously disappointed with the political class, and of course, not all of them are bad. But so this is a song that's very youthful. You know, because back home we do have all sorts of problems, and things are not moving the way they should. Of course, there are people who try to bring about positive change, but things at the leadership level, I think, are not moving as they should. So this is a foot tapping song, so I'd like all of you to, you know, join us, put your hands together for this one. It starts very folksy, and yes, as it progresses, the song will help us to just put our hands together. You Krishna Sharaba Japingula Kletno Kum Longin Krishna you Krishna Sharaba Japingula Kletno. So I will tell you that the Duitara is actually an instrument that cuts across East India and Southeast Asia. So if you look at the state of Meghalaya and Shillong, it is squeezed between China up there and Bangladesh in the south. So the Duitara is an assimilated instrument that we as a community borrowed, but it has been with us for more than 200 years now, so it is ours. Kum nongin kershan yu krisen sharaba japingu lakletno. Kum nongin shan ya kapla pisau baru kasapantro. Ni kublek ti kenya yakine o fom laban le ei shupete ikumba jok maki kengumba rembu. Kum nongin kershan yu krisen sharaba japingu lakletno. Kum nongin shan ya kapla pisau baru kasapantro. Kublek di kenya yakine o fom laban le ei shupete ikumba jok maki kengumba rembu play. Ki ong baro ki shimmin le kum noi de nari baisha. Bai ro ki pam sa ki ma piriang do atu suka. Bai nongga bam sapan lap chi sin wat ya ki pas tepan her. Bantam tiga pau batu pasuk kor jadi ya ki lam le. Kapamalok kala kapamonok ban im jing shishanok balat nakapla banjir men sim lok Kalun kapamalok Kala kapamun lok Tukum nong yen le hapa jungkurunan la tamno na ulo Kum nong yen krenjing shisha hapa yu tili no Kajiyarapan wanan neng nakitrop umen barim Ne hangta hinge ya kajing shai kalen tiga jupen im Hayeng harod haklau hajnong kahok ni day ban ban Kapitar shlade ban pendu yolong berkat Kajing bishni kan penmen sao ya la de ban yaki way Siki badon kajing jam nut kin kiu shai trong shate Kapamalok Kala Kapamolok Ban im Jing shisha lok Ban lak Nakaplahok Ban jir Ban matla lok Masjot Kamen sim lok Kalut Kapamalok Kala Kapamolok Sing along with us. Whoa, come on. Whoa, Let us listen to the sound of the guitar. Chapino na kletno Kung nungin siya niya yakap na pisaw Padang kasabang tro Ihunay kikay yakini O from laban na ay Siyupay di ikumbadyak maki Kay kumbara mulay Hiday pan kersyan yung krisin Sharo bawan raya kiso Ban kersyan yung prison sharo mo wan raya piso Hiday ban kersyan yung prison sharo mo wan raya piso Hiday ban kersyan yung prison sharo mo wan raya piso You've been a wonderful crowd. And yeah, this is the song that we wrote about 5 years ago. And we wrote a song for, I wrote a song for my daughter. And then after a few years, and my son asked, okay, where's my song? And we also come from a place, if you've heard of the village called Kong Thong. And the cluster of villages there, where when a mother gives birth to a child, so between 2 or 3 days to about a month, okay, so she takes that time to sing a song, and that becomes a heart song. So that becomes another name. So if somebody here, the name is Pushpa, and then I would have a song like, ooh, 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 ooh. So the idea is that when you go to the forest, it becomes
a language that the evil spirit will not, understand. So it is a security system in that way. So very interesting. So just imagine all of you here will have a song, a name in the form of a melody. So that's, you can Google this, I'm not just making it up, okay? So this one is called Khon Shin Rang, and it's basically translated to My Son. It's a song by a mother to a child, and a lot of hope. And we also, have this problem back home. I don't know, the rest of India have early marriage and, child marriage. But in certain parts of the Northeast, we have this teenage pregnancy, which is a huge, huge thing. So we believe that, it takes a village actually we look up to the auntie figures and mother figures to be more participative in society and provide that kind of leadership and that kind of wisdom. So Khon Shin Rang, in a way, is also an appeal to the male member of society to take that kind of responsibility and think of the future. So Suk will sing the song. I don't have any right because I'm not a mother.
Cô khôn trên răng trong cả đây phi menta ban tiếp phi đây u ai cả jing im ban la ko pajak siar email la đây ka Kitya kalingkor karisha kalaway Khôn trên răng trong cả đây phi mình ta ban tiếp phi đây u ai cả chính em ban la cô bắt chắc siar email la đây cả por ban đây ban kết ya kaling por karisha kalaway la dalong kapala khôn wat mi na la snong henry la dai ching khot ka shai come on no ban da jrong ching start baking job nameกันชายกันเป็นเล่นตีพี่ได้อุคนรังบ้าพี่ได้อุคนเต็บสีก็ปัดชักเสียรจงแต่ได้พี่มันตาปันปวดกี่จึงฮีไก่กันน้องกันปีบ้าบ้าRangsi kaya pikir kahangamay katin rai tiwat klet ki jintip narimpay Pidei banjok kukun kajing shanya hublay Wat ki jing mut kukun kat ba Yaki bado wanyo Dong rem ka hok kan yeng ka thok kan dam kan do Yalam ku kun shinrang Ukat arbor jonggi Jam syakmat ngin bod ya pi uklur gari Jam syakmat ngin bod Ya pi uklur kari.
Okay, some of you might be wondering what this is. For those of you who know, please keep quiet, but I'd like to, the people who don't know, to guess what is this? A hat, okay, good guess. A rice, okay. That's a good one. Actually, we can repurpose that for what you suggested. I'll take that word. Anyone else? To collect some tea, okay. Fishing, okay. That's interesting. It's none of those. In fact, you know what? This is a traditional umbrella, okay. And by the way, we come from the wettest place on earth. 3-4 of us are actually from Cherrapunji, Sora. That's in our language. And yes, we, you know, if you travel to Vietnam, which we will do in the next two weeks, we are performing there in Cambodia. If you travel to Vietnam, then you remember the Vietnam War, and if you watch those movies, they have those hats, right? And it protects them from the drizzling and all of that. And if you that's called a nonla, by the way. And if you travel to Assam, they have a japi, slightly, you know, broader. But those two cannot protect the rain of Cherrapunji and Sora. Okay, Meghalaya, as you know, it's a board of clouds. So when I'd like Suk to wear this once again. Okay. Okay. Say okay. So that's how it is, right? Yeah. And this is a miniature. So it actually hangs from your forehead right to your calf level. So it protects the farmer. The farmer would work in the paddy field, protects the farmer from the rain, and you know he's alone. So it provides him a sense of security as well. Okay, so and this song is called "Faith Like a Little Child." It's in Khasi. That's the language we speak, and it's it talks about the rain and how the mother would, you know, try to tell the kids, hey, please come inside the rain. If you are there for, you know, outside for too long, you might get sick. And so yes, but unfortunately, we brought the rain from there here today. And by the way, our friend Raghu Dikshit was supposed to be here, but he said, no, my place is all flooded, I can't come. So in a way, we are a bit disappointed. But anyways, so sorry for that. Apologies. Okay, so let's do the song. This one is called Jingit. Yeah, you know what? By the way, we're going to use this as a musical instrument though, also. So Dajit there is, you know, he plays 8 musical instruments, 8 or 9, I can't keep count. And then, and I would also like to introduce Pinshai. He's, I tried to teach him to play like me, like right hand, okay, but I failed miserably. So anyways, anyone would like to try a hand on this? You can use this as a percussion instrument, so. Okay. Do it slowly first, okay? I can promise you will not hurt your fingers. So any one of you would like to try? Yes, please. There are two more here. Okay, so you're playing, this is the traditional umbrella. Yes, please come, ma'am. And we're using it for as a musical instrument. Great. You want to join us on stage? Come. Yes.
Yeah.
And this is a song about children. This is a song about children. So what I'm going to do, this is a pick, right? Just to be safe, I'll give him a pick so that it doesn't hurt his finger. So what you should do? Okay. Capture you, right? Okay. So give it up for Arush. And we've got another one, and I didn't get your name, but yes, thank you. Renu? Renu, okay, Renu, please give it up for Renu.
And the last one.
And the lady there. Shushmita, okay, Shushmita, Renu, and Arush, sorry. So here we go. Okay, let's do one thing. Okay, guys. You can use your pen as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it? It sounds like the rhythm of the rain. How many of you know the song? Listen to the rhythm of the falling rain. Good going, Arush. How are you doing, Reno? Good? Sushmita, are you okay? Nadapitan sembojing et kati sembai terso Pentian kapien peskem kanya balai penting yano Kahok kan yang rasong hangtay gumbahi kay bai mei Ski kan shat ting shai kan te ching tumpat kan mare Please join us, yes, that's good. Ala dangi don kajing et kumbu kena Yaki do yao ngela pangkam pangki yaki domba Kasur basyaran dan kabakor yaki Kasur batiang, kasur balam lengki. Take it away. Another guess. Do you think this is the end of the song? That's a poor question. But you know what? I think you're smart. Remember, other places they thought, that this is the end of the song. In fact, the evening has just got started. Masyalandet kapakor iyahi kasur bajang kasur batyang kasur malam nanti. Give it up for Renu, Shishmita and Arush. That's nice. So I think we will share this. Whoever wants to just, pick it up from here, we can always, you're always welcome. We move to the next song. Arish, you can go back to your seat. And thank you very much. You did a fantastic job.
Yay!
So back in 2020, the Ministry of Donor, that is Development of Northeastern Region, along with the Indian Council for Cultural Relations, ICCR, they asked us to write a song. Oh no, this is not the one. This is the other one. It is India. No, this is the Department of Textile and the Government of Meghalaya. Asked us to write a song about a particular fabric. Okay, so I'll get a scolding. He said, "Ali, how do you give a background of that song and use this one? I'll be in trouble." So when they asked us to write the song, this is about a very traditional fabric textile. So we thought that, though geographical proximity, we're not so far, but it is not our area of expertise. So we had gone to the village, did a bit of research. So we gathered all the 15, 20 women there, and then we asked them, is there any song that you would sing while weaving, And so we sat for one round of tea, second round of tea, third round of tea, nothing happened. So it was really a hopeless situation, I thought to myself. And Greg was with me actually that day. And then after 1.5 hours or so, and then there's one old lady, she was 84 that time. And then she said, oh, I remember one song that my grandmother used to sing. I remember a melody. So she started singing. 84, her name is Kong Wis Malai. Kong means Mrs. Oh, sorry, Miss or Mrs. Okay? So that's how it's Kong Suk, Kong Renu, Kong Shishmita. Okay? That's how we say it. So Kong Wis, she started singing the song. We recorded and used our cell phone. And then that's how this song was born. So you can imagine that this tune and this melody, this song is based on a 200 or 150 to 200-year-old melody. So it would have died down, but then that kind of ancient wisdom comes back because we had the chance to do the song. And what we did was we engaged a lot of people to sing from the village. So usually it's the people from the village who come to town and then record songs, but we took the studio to the village in this case. You can actually type Ryndia, Ryndia, and then on YouTube, and then you will see all of the storytelling and the visuals. Okay? So that's how the song came about, and we will sing it for you this evening. This one is called Ryndia. Tus ngapani di cebet hok lukai cha phang uwe uksai rin ya da no bat kun no mo tu che chi te paro na do nang chua ba ja kiru stangnya kakam riuk yang rendia ken he ya urusa kencor bat renda hadin cita yo yang ustang bansai song pat ha ka perni ha karo kon badai uksa jong ka jing Jing hang ta ki phon yu khyang ha po tham nang ta ki sei bat ki stang ban kan ban kam ha tin ta ki lan thir ha ka ru kom jong ki ken sa stang ban tha nyuk sai ba stang pani ki she bat kan mi sa shi bon ki rong stang sa ka than ba kin yo bat ko bat phong Jing ibang kiriu spa kirong kiring ya kiken kana tang ka than ki ai ngu ki ai dem song kun ka khawai ha ba ku bia ki jan hakadur ki samla pat men yo i jing shan rindia uksai jong ka jing him Jing i kyang rindia kirong a jing i bang give it up for Dajin the flautist kirong a jing i bang Thank you. Sukh is reminding me that the rindia as a fabric, and this is actually the rindia that I'm wearing now, and then she's also wearing the same. It's very interesting how these ancient wisdom really work, in today's world, because a lot of people are feeling the pride, and this is the pride of our community. And fashion designers from Shillong have taken this to Milan, Paris, and London places, really. So that's a good thing that's happening. And I think this whole movement to get into the roots, whether it is an indigenous identity, whether it is fabric, food, music, and culture. So it's a good thing. So yes, we move on to another song that we wrote for a dear friend of ours who reached Mount Everest. And then he said to me that, he was very emotional when he spoke about this. So when I reached Mount Everest, that's what he said, I could see the world as it is. So all this cloud, it's like I can see all these clouds below. So the poetic analogy of that is when we wrote the song, when you reach that certain level, a degree of achievement, then all this cloud of racism, this cloud of differences, and they just mere cloud, because we, after all, we belong to one identity, and that is humanity. So Sukh will sing the song. It's a very tough song, I should tell you. And we had the chance of also recording the song in the Raj studio in Bombay some 2 years back. And we have not released it yet, but it will be there soon. So here we go. This one is called Clear, which literally means summit, SUMMIT.
Ki clear ban khet ya ki so ka jing tre shitom hang ta pen sayo baro ki bala khen diap ki batre ban thom ya ki thep ban poi kham shate ki jing bang ki wan jing kren jong ki briêu ki tan ya jing kết như mà phi giết ban kiều phi đây ki nong kết tiền ki krao jong ka kam ki rêu no senyang ki sap ban ya sam ha ki clear jong kanam ka perthei karkhe o baju ka dung kim ka shu nang ne haba en yêu bi ka shu ya ka ram la pin de jing hon ka shon sha nong trei ba jar jar mati ki so the ki thang ya sharap ha jing dung kamit ki riu e ka thong ki be ya ka kam ba jem not pas kem dei ki nong ya lam jing yo i bach lai bakmat ki kabret ban sam ka kubor shaki bam patip ban prat ya kinyot hagilin tiklaw hayeng ban pendap day kate galau aki clear chong kana kaperthei karkhe kin o baju ka dum kim ka shon nang ye aba ilbi ka sho ya kinga kam ram lapinde jing hon ka shon cha
All our friends with the glow stick, please. Let him go out the glow stick. Where are the glow stick? Nice.
Kiba boy shaki kliarlo an kill ki day shwaban mi kikchatsi kikiman bende hapdeng ching an pilong kikim lakatamra
That's nice. So, land and its people. This is about India's northeast. We wrote the song, as I said, in 2020, when the Ministry of Doma asked us to write the song. It was in the midst of COVID. And this one is each line sort of talks about each state. This is where the clouds come home. This is where the rhino dream is sung. So you can hear all these words as we sing it to you. Okay, and dwell on optimism, and yes, we can do this, because we've been doing this for many, many years. Okay, let's do land and its people. This is the land and its people. This is the land and its people. This is the land and its people. This is our land. Oh, oh, oh. This is the land and its people. This is the land and its people. This is the land and its people. This is our land. Oh. scouts come home, and the Loktak Lake never runs dry. This is where the rhinos roam, and the hornbills ride and rule the sky. This is where the hills could need sicken with the world's highest mountains, Arunachal Pradesh. This is where old wisdom talks, like the water of those fountains. This is the land and its people. This is the land and its people. This is the land and its people. This is our land. This is the land and its people. This is the land and its people. This is the land and its people. This is our land.
This is where the bamboo shoots on the other side of the paddy. This is where the chili blows like a king and its rivers run free. This is where the warrior stands to fight the odds and the battles. This is where words turn to songs like flying wits and riddles. This is the land and its people. This is the land and its people. This is the land and its people. This is our land. This is the land and its people. This is the land and its people. This is the land and its people. This is our land.
Welcome to the destination, beauty and infatuation, delight in all its glory, emerging amazing story. We sing, this is the land and its people. This is the land and its people. This is the land and its people. This is our land. This is the land and its people. This is the land and its people. This is the land and its people. This is our land. Thank you. We've got two more songs and then two Khasi songs. Okay, this one, you know what, is a song that calls for hope and calls for a lifestyle of integrity. And it is one of the pillars of the indigenous belief of the Khasi people. Life of integrity, life of responsibility and accountability. Suk will sing the song and it's called Kamaya Yakahok.
Jingdu jingkermen kapen long yangi Banshan yahuble kahok yang saki Wat ai jing isi kante merau serta ban bot ki kintin sneng I mei I pa lano ka perthei kan yo iyani sembo jing perkhat kin mat ya lenti thang ya ka syarat hari ka badum wat ai bakan lip wat bo hapo krom kamaya ka hok ubarem namen way upen braya kane pet yap na ka thok ki rong phong ka per thei da pen kop ya la de ikhtiar ka menta ki thit men barem nawat ka jing start kini day ban shim in pa la lingkor in thom shaki clear haba kut kaski in yo kulong sian kamaya ka ho haba ka jing snew ka thom bor na phang to te pa jing pha ya ki kan ken dang ya weria baro nin klet jing ya phe kamaya ka hop long yen tung yen ke kamaya ka hop ubarem namen way upen braya late pet yap na ka thok ki rong phong ka per thei da pen kop ya late ikhtiar ka menta kipit men barem kawat ka jing star kini day ban shim in ba la lingkor in thom shaki clear haba kut kaski in yo kulong sian kamaya ka ho put our hands together kamaya ka hok ubarem namen way upen braya kane pet yap na ka thok ki rong phong ka per thei da pen kop ya late ikhtiar ka menta ki thit men barem kawat ka jing star kini day ban shim in ba la lingkor in thom shaki clear haba kut kaski in yo kulong sian kamaya ka ho
Thank you. You know what? This is our last song, and give it up for our drummer, Dawad. And this is a song that we would like to use. Another traditional instrument is called a tangmuri. Very loud. And while only 3 people come back on stage, Renu, Shishmita, and Arush, please come on stage. Please come on stage. Come on, no? Okay. But I'd like to invite all of you to come to the front. Some of you, all of you, it's okay. You're going to join in. And this one is called Hoi Kyu Chalo Chalo in Hindi because we did this song for a movie Rock On 2 in 2016. Okay. Anyone who would like to join us on stage? Yeah. Let's give it up for the band. And you know what? You don't need to know the language. All you have to say is follow after me. Hoi Kyu. Hoi Kyu. Can I hear you? Hoi Kyu. Yeah. Hoi Kyu. Okay, we'll do that later. Let's hear the sound of the Duitara first, okay? This is our song for the people from Shillong. It's for you, Stephen, and your family, and anyone who's there from Shillong. Hoi Kyu. Hoi Kyu. Jumhurang baon ng porta Kibril pa siyat di siyat kisang yatray hayeng siya Kikinarit kini ang lupulawan na ang Uba ayuda, uba nagkaroon surbakang Batas na mukha si kaday kanil masyong siyatam Dingiday marangiday maturkong ng yalam Let's hear the sound of Duitara. And you know what? There are very few people in the world that play this instrument. And it happens. And Ador will take us to the village in the Khasi Hills. Imagine, close your eyes. Imagine that he will take you to the village in Khasi Hills where the uncle figure, the father figure, will gather his family members, his children, his grandchildren. He will gather around the hearth, the fireplace, and he will pick up an instrument like this, starts to play, and starts to tell stories of old. So now that is how ancient wisdom is transferred from one generation to the other generation. And Ador will take us there. Let's hear it again. Those people Kuchalong would like you to sing along with us on this one, okay? You don't need to know the lyrics. For those of you who like rock, this one for you. Kuchlong ko tawa sip kani kadai kajing bana. Apoy hawar kani kajo kasur hamau bana. Kajong tila kajong tuong inang batok sarong. Ang kang katingi may tongin pikir yang dirampam. Bertas na mong kasi kadai kadai bersyong syatam. Katingi day banrangi day baturkum nang yalam. Katingi day banrangi day baturkum nang yalam. Hoy, go! Hoy, go! Hoy, go! Say like that. Hoy, go! Hoy, go! Hoy, go! Drummond! Drummond! Let's give it up for everybody here. It's been a wonderful crowd, audience. It's been a privilege to play for you. Thank you and good night. It's been wonderful. And we'd like to thank the sound guys. Ajit is there. And sorry if I forgot the name of all these people. Thanks, man, for everything. And thanks, Thomas, been helping us. Again, Neha and Siddharth. Where are you, Siddharth? Oh, there. Okay. Great. Good night, everybody. Hope to come back to Bangalore. We'll let you know. Thank you.